Kal Kat, the Kal Kat, sir, and you're ready to watch my review of Mortal Engines, and here I have the Mortal Kitty. Yeah, whatever. Get down. Yes, so, I'm not too familiar with the book series, so, young adult dystopian book series, so I don't really have any frame of reference, so. Peter Jackson produced the movie. I don't recognize the director. The premise is wacky and batshit. That's nuts. The idea is that a dystopian future where these sort of like steampunky Cyberman city things are built as predator vehicles to run around and eat towns using machinery. Which immediately begs the question, then, if they had the technology to do all that, why don't they fix the planet? That's the trouble with these dystopian societies that have all this amazing technology, but then have throwback stuff that isn't. They even referenced the minions at one point as elder gods. But that didn't ruin it. That was just like, well, they just didn't know, I guess. You think they would have, but yeah. That was just a gag in there. Yeah, they threw a lot of gags that were from our time period. It's supposed to be like thousands of years later. Thousands of years after 21 something. Because at one point they're eating an Inky instead of a Twinkie. They state that it was expired in 2170. And that was 1,000 years ago. So, yeah. So this takes place in the Battlefield Earth universe. Anyway, yeah. After the cyclones. No, it doesn't. But it might as well be. Pretty bad. Yeah, so yeah, the critics were being merciless to it on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know if it's entirely deserved though. It was an entertaining movie. It's never boring. It keeps going. I would say it's a better movie structure wise than all of the Zack Snyder DC movies. It keeps you engaged. They're not completely a lost cause. The heroes aren't out of context. The villains are a little cheesy, but so are the heroes. And the bad guys are dispatched in a similar way to what in some of my young adult books that bad guys are dispatched. So, sure, why not? But I didn't write it. No, somebody else. Of course, yeah. Yeah. It reminded me of Castle in the Sky, Winds of Hananami, the Avatar: The Last Airbender series. A lot of other stuff thrown in there because there's a lot of flying vehicles and stuff. A lot of Winds of Hananami there. The lady with the mask, red mask thing at first looks like something right out of a manga character from at least two different story ideas. Very manga-like. There's a wall that's built at one point, and I guess they explain that the map of the world has been shattered, so everything's just not where it was. So somehow there's a land bridge from London to, well, we don't know where the London city was built, the rebuilt city, so it could be anywhere. Europe, and they're heading toward Asia, assuming they're going to Asia. And then they reach the Himalayas, and they reach this town at the end. Plot of the movie, basically. Minor spoilers. The guy is called. The guy's name is a pun. The hero guy, Tom, doesn't matter or something, something like that. Yeah. So his name is a pun, because his character is supposed to be like a nobody. I get that's a funny joke. That works. And the girl who, the rebel, is, her name is Shaw, which is similar to the character of Shaw from Prometheus and Alien books. Those came later though, so I'm thinking that the guy is a bit. I'm thinking that possibly. Bradley Scott and his people read the Mortal Engine books and thought, let's put a character named Shaw in our story. Because, yes, Prometheus and Paradise were later. They're much later, last a year ago, only a year ago for Paradise, and 2 years ago for the other, 2.5 years ago for the other one. So yeah, Mortal Engines, the original books came out in 2000, 2001. Definitely inspired by 9/11 type hysteria. The real 9/11 wasn't, though. There was just hysteria after that. Yeah, so world-ending nuclear Holocaust thing happens. Somehow humanity survives and then builds giant, miles across, roving cities on treads, spending enough technology to actually rebuild the Earth 3 times over. But no, they just want to build giant predatory cities and super giant things with big furnace things that eat other towns, and it's just pretty wacky. So I figure the critics are probably just complaining about the fact that it's ridiculous, but I think that part of it's supposed to be. So yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I figure it's over the top. The books were more steampunk mixed with a little bit of Giger mixed in with a little bit of a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, so it wasn't like it wasn't a thing. The that wasn't their intent to make this goofy sort of dystopia that's post-dystopian. Mad Max meets but Mad Max before Fury Road. Fury Road was only a few years ago. Yeah, meets steampunk, meets a little bit of cyberpunk. And they have a Cobra-like Medusa weapon at one point, which is right out of G.I. Joe. So they have this, like, with a kill switch and everything. They got to get up with a kill switch. Yeah, I'm not going to give it away, but but they have to find one. The obvious cyberpunk / steampunk. I think it's more cyberpunk than steampunk. The London battle city is cyberpunk Victorian kind of thing, but the other ones aren't. So it's like different versions of. We don't see the other cities. I understand that in book 2, or 3, there's New York or something, and Paris and other towns. This is just one of them. The movie takes a lot of liberties with the source material, I'm told, and it just goes off on its own and tells a story of good versus evil and good guy versus bad guy, and take the tower or the wall in this case, and with towers on the other side, do that kind of thing. Yeah, they actually cast Asian people as Asian people, unlike in the M. Night Shyamalan's Avatar movie, which he didn't do that. He got other people to play the people that were supposed to be them. Well, this one they fixed that. Yeah, so so yeah, it was. I mean, yeah, the character development is obvious. It's funny that at one point, the hero guy, the lackluster hero guy, and the lady fall outside the city after the bad guys make him fall off a railing. Bad guy, and they go down there and they're outside the city and at night, and they go, oh, here's where that scene comes where they do character development. She stops him mid-sentence and says, "We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna talk about my sad story." I thought that was pretty funny. If you actually stop, we're not doing that yet. That was cute, like that. We're not doing that yet. I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna stop you right here. Oh yeah. So the kick butt kung fu lady shows up, and there's a zombie, resurrected man in it. It's after the girl that doesn't really make sense in the movie though. The zombie, I guess, befriended her earlier, and now it wants to kill her or something. And I was like, why? Why does the zombie want to do that? And how they resolved that was kind of silly, but yeah. So it's in the Battlefield Earth universe. The Battlefield Earth was so bad it was kind of good in parts. This is good, but has really cheesy, ham-fisted scenes in it. As an entertaining movie, it's entertaining enough. It's not that it's not bad. The critics are being merciless to it, but I think I would give it I'd give it like a 70, 75, 76%. They would go, no, 40, 33, 40, 30, 3440. No, it's a 3-star movie. It's 2.5, 3 stars, almost 3. Yeah, it's 3 stars. So it's a C, solid C. Um, Middle of the road, solid C. It's even a C plus. It's not bad. I liked G.I. Joe the movie too, both of those, except for the first one retconned some of the characters that it shouldn't have, but that was what dropped it down from a 4. 3, 2.5 to 3. Yeah, this is so that is a little better than what I gave the movies, the Zack Snyder movies. Actually, not all the Zack Snyder movies, but the newer ones from DC, the ones of the Superman Returns. I think I gave they're not related, but it's in the same ballpark. That's why I'm mentioning it. Same idea. The superheroes, goofy things going on, and supervillains and that kind of thing. Slightly different. It's still fantasy. It's the genre. So I gave those 60%. Half a good movie here and half a good movie there. Batman v Superman, half a good movie, and then a little bit less. Suicide Squad was a little more than half a good movie. Justice League was even 65%, something like that. It was a little better. Actually, of the Snyder movies that I've seen, one star was Sucker Punch. That was awful. Half a star even. It was awful. But I think I gave his Watchmen movie a 70-something review. I said, well, it's fine. Watchmen, yeah, because that worked in that case. There's a better cartoon of that called Batman Returns 2, which is a DC movie. There's a better adaptation of that with Peter Weller as the Batman. That's a better one of that story. Of the story of Superman versus Batman, not of Watchmen. Got those mixed up. Superman versus Batman. See, he's all making the same movies. Anyway, so yeah, Mortal Engines. If you go into it thinking it's going to make sense, it doesn't. The vehicles, the treads, the things. At one point they're walking in the treads, and the treads really would only be, if that scale was correct, that would be like a maze where the treads went. They built it large, but it should have been overly, if the thing was miles across, the tread would have been a block long. So they would have been walking in this tread, and it wouldn't be just maybe a football field across. It would be a block. So and you could theoretically survive being run over by it because it would knock you off to the side. Into the mud. It would cause earthquakes too. You know it was coming. And it was funny that the guy on Because Science on YouTube was like, an air attack would work really well in one of these cities. Well, that's what the good guys try to do at one point. So. But it totally would, because they can't attack something from the air and swallow it. You just fly in and that makes sense. Psst, I didn't think of that. Yeah, it does beg the question, as I said earlier, why did they just not build enormous city things on wheels, but rebuild society instead? I guess it's kind of like that Elysium movie where they built a giant space station for only the elite. They wouldn't do that because why? Why not build that on Earth? It's kind of a waste of their resources to do that. The minions as the elder gods is funny. Yeah, I don't think that's in the book. Correct me. Nicely. I can say, no, that's in the book. Okay. Don't say, no, you didn't even know anything. Yeah, I didn't read the books, so yeah. Yeah, that's not being stupid, that's just being uninformed. I didn't read the books. Uninformed. That's not intelligence, that's just uninformed. Of London and the cathedral has a super weapon thing. So it, I don't know, 76%. 75, 76%. It's not bad. It was fine. It was what it was. I can't give away too much about it because I just saw it, but you might say, well, where's all the previews and stuff and video from it and everything, or what? Well, we can't show any video clips from the movie because we will get immediately flagged. This channel is like on their radar. Every time we put up even a trailer, this due to Warner Brothers is copyright claim on your review of a trailer of something. CBS put it up there. CBS shouldn't have put it up there. That was ridiculous. But yeah, so we don't want to do that. Yeah. But oddly enough, Disney and Marvel don't really care. Well, maybe that's not so odd. But yeah, Lucasfilm doesn't care either. But yeah, free advertising. No. No, as they said on that other channel, I think it was the Lindsay Ellis channel, not associated with us, I was just watching it, talking about copyright, and said that, like, yeah, the YouTube guidelines are different from copyright guidelines, and YouTube can do whatever it wants, because it's a private business. Yeah, I think it's public on the stock market, so it's kind of confusing, but yeah, it's a business, so it's not a government. Yeah, it's a business. So yeah, anyway, so try to avoid the copyright bots by not posting anything that they own, that, you know, or product placement. What's the discussion on product placement? Whenever we have like a product that you have here, now it would be fraudulent to say, in the case of the story, I don't know how I can connect this. Well, there were products being advertised fakely in the movie, so there you go. If I put this up on the screen here and I say what this is and what it is, you know, lint truffle. Yeah, that's not advertising lint truffles. It's just I'm eating them, so that's not advertising. Brilliantly spoofed in Wayne's World 2. They said, we sold out to everybody now, man. They started getting all these products out and eating them. Yeah, so spoofed in it. It's a parody. You can do whatever you want. Within the bounds of copyright. So. You make a spoof of it. If you say the story is called Starship Chimera, a Star Trek parody, and not Star Trek Chimera, that's a parody. Yeah, that works. Or if you call your thing Space Wars instead of Star Wars, or if you call it Mortal Engines instead of Steampunk Cities and Dark City and Winds of Hananami, a ripoff. Yes. And various other films. Death Note's thrown in there too a little bit. Ooh, good catch. Also a little bit of Battle Angel, which is odd because that's coming out soon. But Cameron doing that, I'm not sure how that's gonna work. It does look amazing, but yeah, this movie here about the Engines movie is rather cool looking. So they yeah, so visually it keeps your attention going the whole time. There's nothing boring in it. It's a little long, but yeah, Jackson's movies usually are. I think it's on a par with his King Kong remake, where he just thought to throw everything but the kitchen sink in it, literally. In this movie, that's literally in there. And he didn't have to. I guess it's a fairly on-model adaptation of the first book, but I'm sure the first book is long, so yeah, he couldn't include all of it. It would be a miniseries. And I understand that the world building in the books, from what I had perused on the internet of it, the world building is quite extensive, and different cities have different cities have different things, and different ways of life, different cultures develop as a result of the fracturing of the world and the continents and all that stuff. Which means they would still be isolated, so actually New York would not technically be able to drive through the Atlantic to go over to visit London, or vice versa. It would just take place in a different place, like in Canada or something, or down south in Brazil or something, and I understand they have that down there. But this was in Europe and Asia, basically, the story. The story was set there. I guess that is consistent with the book, but not part 2. Ooh, and they actually address something that Mark's Cards and I talked about at the end of watching the Maze Runner series, which the heroes all got back to heroic things and having, like, starting over. They defeated the bad guys in the Maze Runner and the Wicked. But once they become adults, they wouldn't know what they were doing. So society would kind of fall apart again because they wouldn't know what they were doing because they had been trained. So they have defeated the bad guys, but so I guess in this series from perusing it, that actually established that. Apparently, it takes place over like 50 years or something, a bit like Distant Destiny. Yeah, so it takes place over that whole series. And so because it takes place over several, like a generation and a half, they have kids. Their kids mess up society, and they got to help them out, which is an interesting kind of premise. Sure, that would happen because they wouldn't know what they were doing. So that was like, how are they going to fix things? You've just wrecked the predator cities. But yeah, sure. Yeah, I like that idea that they were able to. In the books, they're gonna go over that. I don't know whether this movie's gonna make any money though. Kind of like how, like, it's a really cool concept and idea. I don't know if it's too little, too late. I don't know if they showed the Bumblebee trailer or not. There's a movie where Bumblebee movie looks good and previews indicate it is good, but that's another example of a fantasy movie, with Transformers. Looks like this director knew what he's doing and has made an actual good movie with Transformers in it, which is how you do it, instead of making just a glorified commercial for explosions. A good movie with the robots having personality, and they go about having a girl in her car, basically. Premise was the premise of the first one with a boy in his car, but properly done this time. I'm not sure. It's going to be a good movie, Bumblebee. I'll have to review it when it comes out. I'm going to wait. Only a couple weeks, so hey, weeks to wait on that one. I'm not going to do any spoilers, but yeah, they've done it right. But I don't know how much the audience is still pining for a Transformer movie because of the last one being a year and a half ago not being so good. My fan films are coming though, so you can watch those in the meantime. More of my stuff's coming out too, but nothing current. Just watch nothing this year, but next year. But yes, but I didn't have anything to do with Bumblebee. I'm just saying it looks good, but it looks like critics will probably not like it. So, yeah, probably won't make a lot of money. But Mortal Engines will probably make some money. Although the theater that I was in on a Saturday, on opening day, there were 25 of us, maybe 30, that I could see. I think the theater was the mid-sized one, which was odd. So it was during the day, mid-sized one, large mall, large 20 screens, but this is the one that was showing 25, 30 people in there. It was a slightly smaller theater, and I think it seated like 50 people. So there's 25 and 30 would be roughly half. There should have been more people in there watching this movie. Maybe it'll go by word of mouth. I don't know, but yeah. So sure. It was this or Into the Spider-Verse. I'll probably see that coming soon. I'll probably see that soon as well. Tickets from the we have advanced tickets for some of these. So yeah. To the end of the month, we don't have, and it's nearing Oscar season, and we got nothing. Wow. Of all the movies that I've reviewed at least 24 movies over the past year, and there's like 2 that are Oscar contenders, and they came out in October. So that's it. It's not gonna be much of an Oscar season. Okay. Yeah, 2 or 3 that came out. No, there was 3. I liked mid-90s. I liked a drama. Star is Born, the remake. It's completely a reboot with Lady Gaga. Best drama and also as well, best actress, Lady Gaga. Also the guy that was in it. Late 90s and wow, 2 or 3. I liked the Bohemian Rhapsody movie. That was really good. Best actor in that. The guy that played Freddie Mercury did an excellent job playing Freddie Mercury. Give him the Oscar. So if those two movies are not nominated, well, the Oscars are just incompetent. No. And the Golden Globes did nominate Star is Born remake, so it's possible. And Lady Gaga. Excellent. So yeah, Party Monster. Anyway, so yeah, the Oscars. Yeah, we're December 15th, December 16th right now, and literally there's 15 days left of the month, and that's it. Bye.